Hey guys, how's it doing? My name is Franco. Today we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the Crypto.com Visa cards. Now I've just previously done a video on Crypto.com as a whole, as in like the app and all the different features they have. But today we're just going to be looking specifically at the Crypto.com Visa cards, taking a bit of a deeper dive into it because there's a whole video of itself to do with these cards because there is so much information and things to get through with regards to these cards, the rewards they offer, how the card works, restrictions, fees, all those different kind of things. So let's just start off here. What is the Crypto.com debit Visa card? So Crypto.com allows users to stake Crow with the within the Crypto.com app to receive a Crypto.com Visa card. Users who use the Crypto.com Visa card will gain access to various rewards depending on the tier of their card. So Crypto.com offer this card, and in return, people who use it will basically receive rewards. And that's the very simple gist of it. Now, it's important to note this is a debit Visa card, so you've got to top it up. It's not like a credit card that you just have to pay off at the end of the month. You have to top this card up or load it up or whatever with fiat, and then, I just deleted that whole thing. Hang on. Debit, there we go. So you have to top it up and then spend your own money. And it is a metal Visa card as well. So I'll just show you guys here. I've got one, for example, just here. You can see, so I've got my metal Visa debit card just here. I've got the Royal Indigo, and I've been using it for quite a while now. And it's pretty good so far. So how do you access one of the Crypto.com Visa cards? So I've got a very, very simplified version here, but you have to have a Crypto.com account. So you have to go through the KYC and verification process. You're going to have to provide ID, whether that's a driver's license. In Australia, it could be like your Medicare, passport, something like that. And then you're going to want to purchase Crow in your wallet. And then you're going to want to lock up your Crow for 180 days to access the Visa card. So let's have a look here. They've got their own help page where they try and answer all your questions. So obviously you have to sign up to get one of the Visa cards, and as I said before, that's going to need your KYC and identification. Once you go there, you have to apply for the Visa card. So you can see here that I've just clicked on that. But you can see up the top here, we've got that's like what would be along the bottom of the Crypto.com app. I'll show you guys that later. You go into that, you're going to want to accept their terms and conditions, have the amount of Crow that you want for the specific card. We'll have a look at all the different card tiers in a second. Okay, so once you have the sufficient amount of Crow for the Visa card you want, depending on what tier you want, you can then lock it up for 180 days to access the Crypto.com Visa card. It'll then basically just get shipped out to you, to your address that you put through, and here you've got all the expected times. You can read that if you feel, but generally about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending where you are. And it's kind of got here. We began shipping our Crypto.com Visa cards in Singapore, the United States, Canada, countries in the Asia Pacific, and European Union. So you might just want to double check if they do actually ship to your country. I know they ship to Australia. For one of the Asia Pacific countries, and I'm sure they do ship to most of the European Union nations. But you might just want to double check it, make sure that they definitely send to you. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with the online card, which definitely isn't as good. All right, so, and then of course we got to note that the initial investment is subject to the price change of Crow. So when you first get that when you first buy Crow and you lock it up for 180 days, however much Crow you locked up is going to be completely subject to the price changes in Crow. So if the price of Crow doubles, not only are you going to receive all the rewards and the perks of having the Visa card, that initial investment, whatever it might be $400, $4,000, $40,000. That could double in price, or it could go the opposite way, where if you invest $400 into the Ruby Steel card, for example, and if the price of that halves, you're still going to get your 1% cashback sort of thing, but you're only going to have $200 left of that initial investment. Of course, you don't have to sell. You could stick it out and hold in there and hope that the price increases later. But if you do sell, you're going to end up with quite a loss. Okay, so what are the rewards for using a Crypto.com Visa card? So all rewards are paid in Crow to the user's Crow wallet in the Crypto.com app. So that's important to note that basically you're not going to be getting paid out in cash necessarily, but you're going to be getting paid out in Crow rewards. And that goes into your Crow wallet in the Crypto.com app. Because of this, some rewards are also subject to price changes in Crow, such as interest. So this is what I was saying before with regards to the initial investment being subject to the price of Crow. It's the same for some of these rewards. So if the price of Crow doubles, so will your interest in terms of dollar value. So obviously, you've got $400 worth of Crow locked up, and you're earning, $4,000 worth of Crow locked up, and you're earning, 4% per annum. So 4,000 or 4% of 4,000, is going to be $160 a year. Now, of course, that's going to be paid out in Crow. So who really knows how much that is in terms of Crow? But if your investment doubles in price, the price of Crow doubles, then you're going to be still earning the same amount of Crow, but in terms of dollar value, it's going to be doubled. It might be, so that $4,000 investment goes to $8,000, and that interest that you're earning goes from $160 per year to $320 per year. So it could also go the opposite way, where the price halves and your interest that you're earning in terms of dollar value, of course, halves. So a lot of it is all subject to the price of Crow, so you have to be careful with that. However, rewards such as the cashback will always be the same in terms of dollar value, but you could be earning a vastly different amount of Crow. So for example, you spend $100 and you've got the 1% cashback card, you're going to be getting $1 back every single time. Every single time you spend $100, you're going to get $1 back, no matter what the price of Crow does. But of course, $1 worth of Crow might be 10 Crow, or $1 worth of Crow might be, 5 Crow or 20 Crow. It all just depends on the price at the time. So with the cashback, it's always going to be the same in terms of dollar value, but a completely different amount of Crow every single time. But things like the interest, they're going to be really subject to the price changes sort of thing. And of course, Crypto.com can change these rewards at any point in time. So that's important, that what you're signing up for initially, it could be completely different. We've seen it in the past. So we'll have a look at what they have for their rewards. So if we go down here, we've got compare the cards and all the different tiers. So we've got Obsidian, Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White, Royal Indigo and Jade Green, Ruby Steel and the Midnight Blue. So this is where we see our different tiered cards come through, depending on how much Crow you have locked up. So we'll start off with the Ruby Steel card, because that is the cheapest, probably the most affordable for most people. So this one is a $400 US dollar Crow lockup. Now, as I said, in Australia it's 500 Aussie dollars. In Canada it's going to be, 350 Canadian dollars or whatever. Now with this card you do get 1% cash back on all your expenditure, and the 6 months worth of Spotify. So basically, if you spend $100 using your Ruby Steel card, you're going to be getting $1 back. Now this is capped at $25 a month. Now to get the $25 a month, you'd have to be spending $2,500 every single month. So that kind of cap, I don't think is going to be affecting most people. And we'll see later why, as well as why probably you won't be hitting that $25 very, very often. But $400 US dollars gives you 1% cashback, which is decent. Now the Royal Indigo and Jade Green. Now as I showed you guys before, this is the card I have. This is the Royal Indigo. I don't know if the lighting's very good, but that is purple. So we got the $4,000 US dollar lockup. Now with this one you get 2% per annum. Now this is up to $50 US dollars, so it's the same, where it's $2,500 worth of spending to hit that $50 cap. So for most people, probably not going to be affecting you too much. And with this one, you get 6 months worth of Spotify, same as the Ruby Steel, and 6 months worth of Netflix, which is pretty decent. You do also get airport lounge key access. Now I've never used that, but I know some people who do, and it's pretty nice. It's just when you're at the airport, they have like a little special private lounge sort of thing where there's some food and some drinks and stuff and some nice lounges, and you're not in just like the main public area. So it could be nice if you're traveling a lot and you wanted to use that. Now the frosted rose gold or icy white. So we got the $40,000 Crow lockup for this one. Now you do get 3% cash back on this one, and there is no maximum limit or anything. You can just keep spending and spending and spending and get 3% cash back, up to an infinite amount of money in theory. You do also get Spotify. Now note that it isn't just 6 months anymore. It's kind of like forever. So you're going to have all year round free Spotify. You do get your free Netflix as well, Amazon Prime. You get 10% off Expedia and 10% back on Airbnb, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so 10% back for each of those. Now you do get your airport lounge key access plus one guest. And you do get Crypto.com private, the earn bonus reward. So the way that works basically is in the earn program. If you're in the earn bonus reward, which you get with the 2 highest tier cards, you're going to be getting an extra 2% per annum on all of your earn. All your money in earn, you're going to be getting an extra 2%, which is pretty nice, as well as a merchandise pack and stuff, which I don't really use. Now I forgot to mention, but with the Spotify and Netflix, there are going to be a couple of little limitations. So you can see here that it is a reimbursement. So meaning you have to pay for it using your Crypto.com Visa card. So you link up your Spotify card with your Visa card, or you just put in the details so it charges that specific card. When the money gets taken, you're going to basically instantly get a reimbursement for it, and that's up to $13.99 US dollars for the month. And it's the same with Netflix, where it's a reimbursement. So you pay for your Netflix using the Visa card, and then you'll get basically cash back of up to $13.99. And that's going to be in Crow, of course. So who knows how much Crow. You're going to be getting quite a lot of Crow for that. And it is also important to note that this is basically, for the most part, from what I understand, it's basically just a standard subscription. It's not going to be like the family multi-pack or whatever like that. It's just going to be your one person account, basically. You're going to be getting reimbursed for. But hey, it's better than nothing, right? Now with the Obsidian card, so that's a $400,000 lockup. So you can kind of see this gets really crazy really quick. Now with this one, you get 5% cash back. Yet again, there's no limit on this, so it's just up to whatever, as much as you want to spend, as much as you can spend. You do get the Spotify reimbursement, Netflix reimbursement, Amazon Prime reimbursement, 10% cash back on Expedia, 10% cash back on Airbnb, your lounge key access plus a guest, Crypto.com private, the earn bonus reward, the merchandise pack, and a private jet partnership. I've heard that that's pretty well nothing. You basically just get a bottle of champagne or something when you fly with a specific airline. But it is also important to note, they don't have it advertised here for some reason. I don't know why they don't advertise it here, but you do earn interest on some of these cards, as I was talking about before. So with your Royal Indigo and Jade Green, you earn 4% per annum on that $4,000. And with these two cards, the Obsidian or the Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White, you're going to be earning 8% per annum. So let's have a bit of a look. I have a bit of a simplified version of this on a Google Sheet. So we'll have a look. I think this is a bit of a clearer example because it's got actually how much you're going to be earning and how much that is as a percentage return, which is important, I think. So with the Ruby Steel, so you can see it's a $400 investment. So that's this one, Ruby Steel. So a $400 investment. Now you're going to be getting 1% cash back. Now, I've done the spending based off the fact that, say you were to spend $5,000 a year. Now, I think most people are probably going to be spending more than $5,000 a year. But just when I made this Google Sheet, I just Googled what's the average expenditure, and it said $5,000. So I just rolled with it. So based on that, you're going to be getting $50 a year in cash back. You do also get 6 months worth of Spotify, which is the equivalent of $84 for those 6 months. So your return on investment for that year is $134, or a 33.5% return on investment. So, and then of course after the first year, so after your first year, you're not going to have 6 months worth of Spotify. So you're only going to be earning the $50 in cash back. So that brings your your return on investment down to 12.5%, which is still a pretty good return on investment. I mean, most people say that, the S&P 500 and whatever, generally trends up, 7 to 10% per year. And if you're beating that, you're doing pretty good. So with this, obviously you're beating it, so you must be decent rewards at least. But you do have to remember, of course, a lot of these rewards are subject to the price changes in Crow. So yes, you've got that $400 investment, but you could lose it. You could lose half of it pretty well straight away if the price tanks or something. Or of course it could double. So you really need to make sure you're prepared for that if you are going to put your money into these Visa cards. The price of Crow is going to change a lot, and you don't really know which way it's going to go most of the time. Now the Royal Indigo, so this one is the one I have, so this requires the $4,000 investment. Now you do get 2% cash back, which based on that $5,000 per year, will give you $100 in cash back. You get 6 months of Spotify, 6 months of Netflix, which are both $84 each for those 6 months. And you do get 4% interest, which is $160 per year. So your return on investment is going to be $428 a year, or 10.7%. Now, of course, after that first year, you lose the Spotify, you lose the Netflix, so you're only going to be earning 6.5% based on the interest and the cash back. Now, of course, same thing again with these rewards. Now, they're in dollar value, but you're going to be getting paid out in Crow, and if everything is changed, subject to the price changes of Crow. Now, the Icy White, so the $40,000 card, this is a crazy card to have if you do have it. A $40,000 investment is a lot of money, but you're going to be getting 3% cash back now, which is $150. Now, if you do have a $40,000 Visa card, you're probably going to be spending more than $5,000 a year. I'd reckon you could make it $10,000, could make it $15,000, could make it $20,000 a year. Whatever you think you're spending, just pretend it's whatever you spend. But based on $5,000, $150. Now you do get Spotify, Netflix, Amazon year round. You're gonna, unless they remove it entirely or make it 6 months or whatever, at this current moment, you do get Spotify, Netflix, and Amazon all year round, forever and ever, which is $168, $168 for Netflix, and $180 for Amazon. And of course, you do get that interest similarly to the Royal Indigo, except this time it's an 8% interest, which gives you $3,200, which is a crazy amount of money to just be earning in interest alone. So that gives you a return on investment, of $3,866, or 9.67%, which is a really, really good return. 9.67% on a $40,000 investment. If you could just continue getting that every single year, 9.67%, that's a crazy good return. And of course, say hypothetically, the price of Crow doubles, the price of Crow triples, it could be a really, really good investment. Now, the Obsidian card, the $400,000 card. Now, this is getting into the crazy zone, in my opinion. $400,000 is a lot of money. Now, you're going to get 5% cash back. Now, it's the same thing again with the $40,000 card. If you've got a $400,000 Visa card, you're probably going to be spending more than $5,000 a year. So that could be way, way, way higher, if you could imagine. Now, you do get the Spotify, Netflix, and Amazon, which is $168, $168, $180. And then 8% interest is $32,000, which is just crazy, in my opinion. So that brings it up to $32,766, which is just a crazy number, and that's an 8.19% return. Now, of course, this doesn't include the Airbnb or the Expedia or some of the other rewards like, the airport lounge key access, or the earn bonus reward. So you are going to be earning, but you're going to be earning more money, I guess, in that sense. People probably pay for airport lounge key access. Maybe it costs, I don't know how much it costs, say it costs $100, and you do that 4 times a year, you could look at that and, add on $400. Or if you're big into the earn program, you could be, really thinking, man, I could get that extra 2%. But I didn't add these in because they're all subject to your spending sort of thing. Airbnb, you could be getting, up to $100 a month back in Airbnb, but that's really subject to you whether you're actually going to use Airbnb or not. Who really knows? But yeah, that's basically it. Now you can see that there is generally a diminishing return in the sense of percentage, but of course, the amount of money you're going to be making, for this to be a viable strategy for Crypto.com to bring in users and stuff, they can't just be blowing all their money. And of course, you do have to remember the rewards are completely subject to being changed. If Crypto.com decide, we don't want to do the Spotify reimbursements anymore, they could scrap it if they really want. If they don't think they can afford it, if they don't think it's a part of their business model, they can scrap it, whatever they want, whenever they want. Now, if we do scroll up, this is just an example. On the top here, we have some of their older rewards. So just last year, it would have been around, early in 2022, I can't quite remember. They cut a lot of rewards, okay? So if you could remember, we were in the midst of the bear market, prices were tanking, things were looking really bad for crypto in general. So they really cut a lot of their rewards. And you can see here what you used to get, the Ruby Steel card, you used to get 2% cash back on the Ruby Steel, and you used to get Spotify year round. So which would have given you $268 or a 67% return on investment. And you can see now how much they've dropped along the bottom here. They've completely changed the rewards for the Ruby Steel card. You used to be able to get the Midnight Blue card absolutely for free and get a 1% cash back. That's crazy that you can just get this card absolutely for free and get 1% cash back. They used to have, look at these rewards are just crazy, right? The Royal Indigo used to have 3% cash back all year round, Spotify and Netflix, 10% interest. Crazy returns. 12% interest on the $40,000, 12% interest on the $400,000. And you used to get 8% cash back. Like, you used to be earning, 12.23% on the $400,000 Obsidian card. That is ridiculous rewards, right? Now, am I saying this to bag Crypto.com and say that, the rewards are not what they once used to be and that they suck now and that you shouldn't be getting this card? Absolutely not. What they've really done here is really pull in their rewards because they did used to be absolutely ridiculous. It was really an onboarding strategy. They're trying to get their name out there. They want to be popular in the scene, so they had these crazy rewards. But now that they've got a huge user base and they need to support this for a longer period of time, they've had to cut their rewards. And we could see this in the future. If crypto as a whole and Crypto.com continue to really grow and expand, you might see some of these rewards get reduced, and you just have to be prepared for that if that does happen. Okay, so let's have a closer look at some of these rewards, like in depth, one by one. So users can earn a cashback reward for purchases made using the card. So obviously all the Visa cards we looked at have this return. So from 1% up to 5%. Rewards are paid in Crow into your Crypto.com wallet. We've spoken about that before. So $1 worth of cashback will give you a varying amount of Crow that is equal to $1. So we've spoken about that before. You've got the 1%. Sorry, just had a sneeze. If you spend $100 and you've got the Ruby Steel card, you're going to get 1% back, which is $1, and that's going to give you $1 worth of Crow, whatever that is at the time. You will not get cash back on all purchases. Some merchants are exempt from cash back. So let's have a look at this. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. So there are some restrictions to where you can get cash back from. So if we scroll down here, you can see all the different merchants that you aren't going to get cash back on. So you can still purchase things with your Visa card to these people or to these merchants, but you're just not going to get the cashback return. So for example, what are these? Merchants with the classified blah, 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 blah. So basically you just want to be looking on the right hand side here. So all your utilities and stuff, so like any council fees or anything, you're not going to get cash back for. Computer software programs, not going to get cash back for. Banks, anything like that, credit unions. There's so much different stuff. What else we got? None of these are really important. Automobile insurance. So if you go to pay for your car insurance, I've done this in the past where if you pay your car insurance using your Crypto.com Visa card, you're going to be able to pay for it. You're just not going to get your, 1% cash back, 2% cash back, whatever that might be. Home insurance, health insurance, all these different things you're not going to be getting cash back for. Rentals, if you're paying rent to someone, you're not going to be able to get cash back for rent, okay? What else have we got? Computer software design. There's all these different little things. Fines, if you get fined by the police or the council or whatever, you can't pay, or you can pay for your fine using your Crypto.com Visa card, but you just won't get cash back for it. So you can really, if you want to go through this by yourself, it's important. Sometimes if you don't get cash back, if you're wondering, why did I not get cash back for that specific purchase I just did, chances are it's going to either fall under this, or maybe there's a chance you've hit your monthly limit. So things that I've paid for in the past, like my car insurance, that hasn't gone through. I've had to pay for travel insurance in the past, and that didn't get cashback rewards for that. So for the most part, what you're going to see is Crypto.com really want this, or the rewards, to just be for your daily spending, your food, your groceries, t-shirts, shoes, things like that. You're going to be getting heaps of cash back for. But things like your rent, your mortgage, your water bills, your car insurance, things like that, you're not going to be getting cash back for, because obviously otherwise, Crypto.com would be running themselves broke, having to pay, thousands of dollars in cash back. And you can also see why I think most people aren't going to be hitting that $25 a month or that $50 a month cashback limit, because most of the big expenditures that take up most people's income, like your rent, like your mortgage, like your cars, things that you have to pay for that really take up most of your income, you aren't going to be getting cash back for anyway. So it won't really, you're really unlikely to hit that cap. Now, of course, you can still have big expenditures, like, for example, I booked a cruise, that cost me like $1,500, and I got like $30 cash back, which is awesome, right? But your main things, you're not going to be getting cash back for. So that's important to note. And if you do ever not get cash back, you can go in here, you can talk to the support people. I've done that in the past where I've just been like, hey, this expenditure I didn't get cash back for, just curious why. And they were like, yeah, look, it's under this specific merchant and we don't do cash back for it. And it's like, okay, cool. It's just the way it works, but it's not really a big biggie. If you're aware of it, it's not going to really matter. And I've basically just got here, you can still pay for things, or you can still pay for these, you can still use your Visa card to pay with these merchants. So you're still going to be able to pay for your car insurance, health insurance, mortgage, whatever you got to pay for using the Crypto.com Visa card. You're just not going to get cash back for it. So it's up to you whether you can be bothered using your Crypto.com Visa card, or you could just, use your normal bank card or whatever you've got. And of course, there is the monthly caps for the lower tiers rewards. All right, so let's have a look at, let's fix that up. Let's have a look at the interest return. So users with the Jade Green Royal Indigo card or higher will receive interest on their investments. That's what we were looking at before, just around like these areas here where you've got the 4%, the 8%, and the 8% interest. So users will earn 4 or 8% on their initial investment, which will be paid weekly into their Crow wallet. So every single week, I get paid, 4% of my initial investment in the Crow or the Crypto.com Visa card, and that just gets put in my wallet weekly, and then I can spend it, or I can do whatever I want with it, sell it, or trade it to a Bitcoin, or do whatever I want to do. So let's have a look at a little example here, just so the maths makes sense. So e.g., a user locks up 20,000 Crow for the Royal Indigo card at 4% per annum. So 4% of 20 is 800. So that person's going to be earning 800 Crow every single year, as long as they have the Royal Indigo card locked up. So 8 over 52 is 15.38. So therefore, they're going to be earning 15.38 Crow every single week. So this value, or this Crow value, will not change, but is subject to the price of Crow. So you're always going to be earning 15.38 Crow as long as you've got that 20,000 Crow locked up at 4%. But that 15.38 Crow could be completely different in terms of price. You could, if Crow was at the price of $1, you could be earning, $15 a week. Or if the Crow's at the price of, 10 cents, you're only going to be earning, like $1.50 a week. So you can kind of see how it really depends on the price of Crow as to how good the rewards can kind of be. Alright, so Spotify, Netflix, and Amazon Prime rebates. Users who purchase these will receive a rebate depending on the tier of their card. So it's important to know so I've just got the definition of a rebate here. A partial refund to someone who has paid too much for tax, rent, or utility. So pretty well, you're just getting a refund. So the important part is you're basically just getting a refund, or you're getting a full refund in this case. So that's just taken from Google, but you get a full rebate up to the $13.99 cap or whatever it is. So of course, if you're just getting which is basically just the standard tier, I guess, of Spotify and Netflix. So you have to pay for the product, and Crypto.com will pay you back in Crow to the equivalent value. So use your Visa card to pay for Spotify, for Netflix, and then Crypto.com will basically pay you back. Lower tier cards will only receive this for 6 months, and then they go back to 2% cash back. So if you've got the Jade Green, Royal Indigo, or Ruby Steel card, you're going to be getting the full reimbursement for the first 6 months, and then after that you just get 2% cash back, like on all the rest of your expenditure. And of course, I think it actually said it's up to $13.99. I feel like it used to be $14.99. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's changed. No, it does say $13.99, so I should change this. So of course, they're both up to $13.99. Normally, this is just a standard subscription, and you only get one subscription per month, obviously. Alright, airport lounge key access. So basically, I've never used airport lounge keys access, so I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I've got this article here. So basically you want to activate so how do you get the airport lounge key access, Activate your Crypto.com Visa card, enable international usage, activate lounge key by completing online registration, have enough balance on the Crypto.com Visa card to cover the card validation transaction, and then basically when you get to the lounge, you can just present your Crypto.com Visa card and boarding pass, and then you can gain access by declaring that you're a customer to Lounge Key, which is pretty good. So you're just gonna have to sign up, go through their prompts using your Crypto.com Visa card. If I do, where is it? Crypto.com. Hang on. We go to this one here, but you can kind of see if we go to the Airport Lounge Key website, you can see here that they've got with Crypto.com. So they are pretty tight. You're not gonna really get stitched over or anything using these guys. So it should be all sweet. You should just be able to sign up using your Crypto.com Visa card, and then that'll all work itself out pretty well. Alright, we spoke about Crypto.com Private a little bit earlier, but for card holders with the Icy White, Rose Gold, or Obsidian card, you're going to gain access to that extra 2% per annum in earn, which is pretty nice, and you also get the merchandise pack. Alright, fees and limits. Whilst there are many fees and limitations, most of these will never matter. Now it sounds bad, but I've never really had to worry about the fees or the limits to the Crypto.com Visa card. So of course there's things like an ATM limit. I've never had to withdraw money using my Crypto.com Visa card, because I only put money on my Crypto.com Visa card that I'm going to spend, basically. So I'm not planning on pulling that money out as cash at any time. So there are some monthly limits to how much you can pull out, but honestly, I don't think most people are withdrawing money using their Crypto.com Visa card. So you also got a daily and a monthly top-up limit, which is $10,000. You can top up your Visa card $10,000 a day or $25,000 a month. And again, if you're having to top up your card, $10,000 US a day, then that's pretty crazy, and I don't think you should be too worried about that. um, so you can also top up using debit and credit cards, but there is a limit on that. Minimum top ups using a debit or a credit card is $20 US. And you can just see there's so many different different things and fees and limitations and all these things, but they're at a point where they're most of these things are at the ridiculous point where how many what is your daily purchase limit? $25,000. So it's like you're not going to be spending $25,000 every single day. It's not going to affect most people. Most of us, we're not even going to encounter these fees and limits. And if you are worried about it, just have a quick read through, see if it really affects you. But I don't think most people are going to be affected by this. The only one that really, sometimes you might hit your $25 per month cashback limit. But, most people aren't, because they're probably not spending, $2,500 consistently every single month on things like food, groceries, and all those different things. Now, of course, some of the where are we? Some of the fees. So card top up, there's going to be some fees. So if you're trying to top up your Visa card using other debit or credit cards, you're going to be getting charged a small fee, which is pretty standard. Now, of course, I'll go through how to top it up for free in just a sec using bank transfer. But pretty well, this is something that's really, really avoidable, I think, for most people. Now, of course, a reissue of a card. So if you lose your card, you damage it, say you snap it in half or something like that, it's going to cost you $50 to send out a new one. Now, it is so the initial card, so the first card you got, so you can see this card here. This is the first one. It's absolutely free. They send it out to you for free. But if I were to lose this, or snap it or break it or somehow, I'm going to have to cough up the $50 to get a new one. But it is a metal Visa card, you have to remember. So if you're somehow breaking a metal Visa card, that is pretty well on you, I'd say. Now, if you upgrade your card, there's no fee. Now, there is a fee if you do want to buy access the Midnight Blue card. You're going to have to pay $4.99. That's because basically they're getting nothing out of the Midnight Blue card. Most people don't use the Midnight Blue card anymore. And then, so there's also an inactivity fee. So $4.95 per month of inactivity will be charged after 12 months of no cardholder initiated financial activity on the card. So basically, if you don't use the Visa card for 12 months or longer, you're going to start to be getting charged, $4.95 per month. So I don't really know if that's a normal thing or not. I've never really heard of it outside of this. But, most people are going to be using their Visa card at least once a year, or they're probably just going to be, saying, I don't want the Visa card anymore, and just cashing out and keeping their crow or whatever out of the Crypto.com Visa card program. Now, foreign transactions fee, so there is a flat 3% on all, now it says all non-USD purchases, but it's actually, what it should say here is just all of your native currency. So in Australia, so if I ever do a purchase not in Aussie dollars, because I'm set up in Aussie dollars, all of my money in my Crypto.com account is in Aussie dollars. If I ever purchase something, like I purchase, I don't know, say hypothetically, I'm in the United States and I pay for something using the card, or I'm in, the UK, or I'm in New Zealand, or wherever I am, I'm just going to be getting charged a flat 3% fee on all of my purchases that aren't in my native currency. So that's generally not a bad price, considering you're getting 2% cash back or 3% cash back anyway. A lot of people probably aren't actually even losing any money, and it doesn't really matter. But of course, this is only for your Midnight Blue, Ruby Steel, and Royal Indigo Jade Green cards. So if you have the Icy White, Rose Gold, or the Obsidian, you're actually not going to get charged a foreign transaction fee at all. Or that there's going to be a currency conversion and stuff, so it might not be 100% accurate or exactly what you thought it might be, but at least you're not getting charged that 3% with the higher tier cards. But in general, that's still pretty good. Most banks are charging the same or worse, really. So, and you do got to remember, you are getting your 2% cash back or whatever anyway. So it kind of, equals itself out a little bit. All right, so now that's pretty well all the rewards and the fees and the limitations and things for the Crypto.com Visa card. So we'll just have a look at it in the actual app now, how it kind of works. How do you top up your Visa card? So I'll just set this up now. Hang on, it'll be 1 second. All right, so we're in the Crypto.com app, just on the home page here, and pretty well, how would you top up your Visa card? So you just go to card here. Now I'm going to have all the transaction I've just done blurred because it has my location and stuff. But so we'll blur that out, and you can see that I'm in Aussie dollars. That's what I was talking about just before with my native currency. So I'm in Aussie dollars, and you select that when you set up based on your country. Now say you wanted to top up your Visa card, you literally just hit the top up, and you can see here that I could use Apple Pay, but as we saw before with the fees and restrictions. Now, if I'm using a debit or a credit card to top up, I'm going to be getting charged a fee. So we want to pretty well avoid that. I could use my crypto wallet. So you can see I've got I've got a really, really small amount of ETH and Bitcoin just sitting here. I should probably just dust these or whatever, but they're just sitting here at the moment. Now, I could use those to top up my Visa card. How much is it? It's, it's bugger all money in terms of it says I've got an insufficient balance, so yeah, I can't use that. There's not enough money there. Or I could use my fiat wallet. Now, I've got no money in my fiat wallet at the moment, but say I wanted to do it via like a bank transfer and avoid all those fees. You go through the bank transfer process, which I've gone through completely in the other Crypto.com, the whole video in that one. So if you want to know how to like transfer your money and everything, just go watch that video. But once it's in my fiat wallet, I could just top up here, and I could select any amount. I could select $15,000, whatever. Now, obviously, I don't have enough money at the moment, but say I did, it would just go right there, and it'd be sweet as. All right, and then if we go back to accounts, so you can see here that, it would have all the values. So you got like how much is in all your crypto wallets, exchange, earn, supercharger, how much is in your Visa card. So you could just click on that, and it goes back to your the page we were just on down here on the card page. Now let's have a look at some of the rewards that you get. So like what it looks like, a bit of a visualization, I suppose. So we could either go into Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that and have a look at it in there, or we could just go up the top right here, and it's got all of our rewards. But for the moment, we'll just go into our Kronos wallet. All right, so here we are in the Crow wallet, and I've scrolled down past all the main stuff. But you can see here we've got all of our different things. So we've got some cash back. So if I click on this, you can see here that we spent $16.90 a couple days ago, and we got 34 cents back in cash back, and 34 cents was the equivalent to 3.338 blah 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 Crow, and that just gets deposited into our wallet. So I just spend using the Crypto.com Visa card, and this amount of Crow basically pops up instantly. You see another cash back. I spent $11 and I got 22 cents back, which was 2.1 Crow, whatever. We've got the Crow lockup rewards you can see in the middle there. So that's like my 4% interest that I'm earning. I've got the 4% of getting paid weekly, so that's my weekly reward. And if we keep scrolling down, you can see I've got some earn features. Here's a big card cashback, so you can kind of see what did I spend here. God, I spent $800 on something, and I got $16 cashback. So you can see that you can actually get some pretty decent rewards. $16 cashback, 139 Crow. That's a pretty good reward in my opinion. So you can't really be complaining with that. So there is a lot of potential for good rewards here, depending on how much you spend and whatever else. But yeah, so that's pretty well. One last thing I think that could be important, of course. So here we are yet again, back on the Crypto.com Visa card, like the card section. Now, if we go into the top right here, you can see like the little card icon. Now, if we click on that and we go into this page here, we've got a bunch of different things, but importantly, the freeze on the left there. Now, I'm not going to click it, obviously, because I don't want to actually freeze. my Visa card. But say you ever lose your Visa card, you know, it falls out of your wallet or whatever, you can just go on here, freeze. Say you're ever getting any, you know, really weird spending, then you're like, you know, I didn't spend all this. Just go into the app, go on, quickly hit freeze, and then it'll cancel all the transactions. And then you can talk to the support chat and talk about getting everything sorted out. So and you'll get emails and stuff on all your spending. So if there's anything ever funky going on, you just go in here, press freeze, and it is pretty simple. You've got all your card details and everything as well. Alright guys, so I think that pretty well does it for the Crypto.com Visa card. I hope this video helped you out just a little bit, and if you were deciding or were unsure if you wanted to get the Crypto.com Visa card or not. Now of course, when you sign up and purchase the Crypto.com Visa card, you can get a $25 sign up bonus if you want to use mine down in the description below. If you've got a friends or someone's who you want to use, when you sign up and lock up your Crow for 180 days in the Ruby Steel card or higher, you are going to be getting that $25 worth of Crow absolutely free, which is a pretty good reward. So if you want to do that, feel free to use my code that's down in the description below. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one.